Hey folks, welcome aboard again. Captain Walton bringing you yet another video. Today we're going to be flying from Christchurch, New Zealand to McMurdo Station in the ice runway. I've gotten a lot of messages and comments from people looking forward to this trip and that they want to see what it's like to land on ice. So here we go. I'm going to show you exactly what it's like to land at McMurdo. Today we're flying the iFly 747-400 V2. Their newest edition came out November 21st and is definitely a must-have aircraft to add to your flight simulator collection, whether you fly FS9 like I do or FSX. It is definitely worth having. It's by far the best 7.4 simulation on the market today. Okay, first off, I'm going to go ahead and program the aircraft and get us set up and ready to go. And if you feel like joining us and flying very unique worldwide routes, being a non-demand carrier or virtual airline, we do not have designated set routes, although we do have designated civilian routes, yes. A lot of our stuff is contracted via the Air Force and civilian organizations. So we fly anywhere in the world on pretty much a moment's notice. So if someone, corporation, civilian company, or military government organization contracts us, we will fly wherever they need us anywhere in the world. Okay, if you're interested in joining, it's nationalcargova.com. Once you get to that website, you'll notice that we have moved. We are nationalcargova.com/V2. But on our main website, you'll be able to click a redirect button to our new site. Okay. Let me just go ahead and get the FMC set up. The uniqueness into McMurdo, there's really no star into McMurdo, so it's a very different approach from what a lot of people are used to. We have a set chart for arrival into McMurdo for National Cargo VA, so once you log in you can download those charts from our forums. Our flight number today is National Cargo Flight 092. I need to adjust our fuel. Trim is 4.3. Let's see, we'll depart off runway 2. trip down to McMurdo is a direct military route, so we don't have to worry about any other air traffic because we are time slotted to go in there at a certain time. So there'll be no air traffic on the ice or anywhere near the airport upon our arrival. So the way they have it set up is when we arrive, that is our time slot, and an hour later the next plane will come in, and it's to prevent so many planes and that weight accumulating on the ice. So we have to get in, unload, and get airborne and get back out of there prior to the next plane landing. So it's a pretty unique and pretty neat experience to watch throughout the trip. Okay. As far as we go there, we are ready to go. Make sure my nav lights are working. I can see them on the ground there. We have our trim set to 4.3. Okay, beautiful. Go ahead and push back. And we'll go ahead and get the engine started. Graphical glitch, they had us in a building, did not realize that. Guess I should have checked. Oh well. That's why I never keep my crash detection on, just because of reasons like that. Okay, number 1 is running. Go ahead and get the flaps set for 20. And some of you may wonder where the seats are in the plane. In the FMC, I've used the configuration manager to remove them, just because a lot of times they would get in my way from being able to press certain buttons on the center pedestal. So I just went ahead and got rid of them. Started. With the current fuel we have on board, we're going to try to land as light as possible. Need to land with about 8,000 pounds of fuel left, so we're going to dump whatever fuel that we need to acquire that 8,000 when we're coming into McMurdo. We shouldn't need to dump more than 10,000 pounds to achieve our 8, so okay, number 4 is starting up. Just do an altimeter recheck here. Okay, still 29.50, which is pretty low. Wait for it to stabilize. Okay, there we go, good and stabilized. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the APU. Turn on both flight directors. Go ahead and arm the auto throttle as well. Okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and taxi and get on out of here. a long taxi. Let's go ahead and sit back and relax. Some people may say you're taxiing in the grass, you're turning the grass. No, we are not. You can see where the concrete is there, and anybody that knows about the 7.4 knows that the main gear is behind the pilots. So, we are not in the grass, don't worry. I've probably logged anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 hours on the 7.4 with the PMDG 7.4 for FS9 prior to obtaining the iFly. The reason we're leaving in early morning hours, we got in here yesterday afternoon, went ahead and stayed the night, and we need to leave in early morning hours here because we have a very, very short daylight span at McMurdo, and it's a nightmare trying to go in there in the dark. It's very, very difficult too, so we're going to try to hit it in the last few moments of daylight at McMurdo. I was with a flight crew on a shared cockpit one time last year when we were going in there, and unfortunately due to weather we couldn't get in there when we wanted to, and we ended up arriving at night, and it was probably one of the most difficult approaches I have ever done in 13 years of flight sim. Getting pushed around on the taxiway, it's not a comforting thing to know, because if it's windy here, the weather in McMurdo is probably going to be worse. And see, when we leave Christchurch, I'll give you a little input on this. When we leave this airport, we only take enough fuel to get us to the ice. So there is no second chance. There is no returning. Well, once we pass the point of no return in this flight, which is about an hour into the trip, or an hour and a half into the trip, once we pass that point, we cannot return. We have to continue. And when that happens, what that ends up doing to us is, when we arrive at McMurdo, if it's blizzard conditions, zero visibility, we need to either land or crash, one of the two, because weather down there is so unpredictable. We checked the weather prior to leaving in Christchurch, and the pilot in command of that aircraft will need to make a decision to go or no go. And I've checked the weather and I have decided to go. But the weather down there can change so quickly that it's known to be one of the worst places on Earth to land. So we're going to go down there and we're going to try to land there if it's zero visibility and white out.
29.
I'm going to continue to land anyways. I've been there quite a few times, so I would like to say I know the airport, but I can't say that. I don't think anybody will ever know that airport, just because of its unpredictability. So we're going to give it our very best shot. And it's either we land safely or we crash. Those are the only two options. So stick with us on the video and let's hope we make it. We have a total of 5 souls on board, 2 pilots, 2 load masters, and a government worker. So we're going to try to get down there and get these guys offloaded that need to be stationed down there for this operation for the next 3 months.
Approaching 02. Approaching 02. Approaching 02. On runway 02.
All right. All right, let's get out of here.
V1. Rotate.
Strong crosswinds. Pretty steep departure too. Climbing at 4,300 feet a minute. Alright, well I thank you for watching, and we will see you in not Christchurch, we'll see you in McMurdo. Okay folks, I just wanted to get with you in cruise here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's the Aurora Borealis. Across the sky there you can see the different colors coming across the sky, and it's pretty neat to see during the day. You hardly ever see it during the day. But coming down to McMurdo you will see it. Okay. Also, we have passed the point of no return on this trip. We're at 35,000. We've got 83,500 pounds of fuel left on board, and we've got 916 miles to go to McMurdo. We've got about a 32 knot tailwind, doing 506 across the ground, 41 true airspeed. We've got just shy of, either just shy or right around 2 hours to go. If you want to get technical, we've got an hour and 57 minutes to go to McMurdo. Other than that, we're cruising nice and smooth. Seems to be a pretty clear sky, so it's going to work in our favor. Hopefully it's clear like this when we arrive at McMurdo. I just wanted to kind of give you a quick view of what it looks like where we are currently. Okay, I will, actually looks like after the sky is updated, some clouds down there. Hopefully it won't be too bad in McMurdo. Anyways, I will get back with you on approach and landing in McMurdo. According to this, we're about 10 miles out, 11 miles out from McMurdo. We need to grab the visual. Try to get a little lower here and see if we can get a visual on the airport. Okay, I've got the airport. I don't know if you all can see it. It's at my 12 o'clock from the direction I'm looking. I got it right there. Okay, there's McMurdo. I need to try to get down a little further. There's McMurdo Base right there at our 12 o'clock. I don't know if you guys can see the buildings down there. There's McMurdo Base. Okay, perfect. That puts us... Okay, so I actually need to turn out this way 90 degrees and get us out. Get us out a little ways. Okay. So I do have McMurdo in sight now. So I'm going to get us down a little bit also. FMC has indicated the end of the route. That is very true. So now we are going to turn and come in visually back for McMurdo. I'm going to attempt at this time to get us a little lower again. Speed brakes are armed. Send down to 4,000. And I'm going to do my very best to get us lined up to come back in. Give me 1 second, I need to pull up our online charts for McMurdo. I need to look at something. So the sound of the flight sim's going to end real quick. Okay. That's it. So we need to land on runway 29 at McMurdo. So when we get far enough out here, I'm going to turn us around for runway 29. And it'll take us down to 3,000. See the snow coming across the window. Unfortunately, I do not like landing like this. Visibility is horrible. I cannot see the ground. I'm nervous enough as it is. So I need a co-pilot so I can have a spotter. On this course for a short period of time until we're far enough out to make a 180 back for runway 29. It's the long way around. Turn for 29. Sending down to 2,000. This time I'm going to go ahead and drop the gear.
2,500.
Flaps 25. Send a little lower. Turn us a little bit. The reason I'm off center of NCIR or NZIR on the PFD there is because, or on the MFD is because the way the add-on airport is positioned to that is a little off kilter. So that only adds to the complication of landing here. Go ahead and go full flaps at this time. Cannot tell where this airport is at. Well, next time we're going to leave Christchurch a little earlier, so at least we can hit it in the daylight. Aha! Got it. Probably going to have to go around now. There it is. Okay. It's a very difficult runway to see, but we've got it. Surprisingly enough, we're on the glide slope too. guys can see this. It is very, very windy and very bumpy right now. Plane's having a difficult time stabilizing.
1,000.
I'm actually physically shaking a little bit because of this approach is so dangerous. And it's on a simulator and I'm still shaking. Hoping this is the right runway. It looks awful short.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Yeah, I know.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain,
Approaching.
terrain.
3, 3.
Pull up. Terrain,
400.
terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Oh, shut up.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Minimums.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
100.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
30.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to McMurdo and the ice runway. Unfortunately, we have to rely on reverse to stop us. See as our ground speed picks up when we kick off the reversers, so we have to kind of tap our brakes to get the plane to stop. It's not a fun little ordeal. Plane will eventually stop. It's we have to kind of turn the aircraft a little bit to get it to stop. Unfortunately, that's a bad part of coming to the ice, is getting the plane to fully stop. And because it's McMurdo and there's no planes departing or arriving, what we do is we taxi to the end of the runway and park, and ground crew will come out and offload the aircraft. And if we have to take anything out, they'll unload it and we'll take off. Otherwise, they'll they won't unload anything, and we will depart back for Christchurch. So, okay, I'm just going to come down to the end of the runway down here and turn the plane around. So, and we will park the aircraft down here. Unfortunately, we have to kind of slide the aircraft. I'm just going to take it down here to the end of the runway, turn it around. But anyways, I thank you for riding with us, and as you can see, it is difficult to land on the ice, but we will turn the plane around and stop it, because we'll pull it into the snow a little bit. It's still solid, but the snow will actually stop us. As we turn around, we'll pull to the side of the runway down here. So, appreciate you riding with us to McMurdo. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to let us know. And this is Captain Walton. Good day. Just on a final note, I wanted to get back with y'all. As you can see, we are fully stopped at the end of the runway, and the grounds crew is offloading at this time, and you can see McMurdo Station out there off in the distance. Just want to get with y'all on a final note and say that coming in and out of McMurdo is an interesting experience, and if any of you ever get the opportunity to do it, even if it's not necessarily for a virtual airline or for national cargo, absolutely take the opportunity to come down here. It'll definitely test your skills, as you can see at night, plus low visibility and icing conditions. And some people never get the opportunity to land on an ice runway in real life or in a simulator, and they both simulate well. So I would recommend highly to come on down and give it a try. As you can see, we are parked down here safely. We did not slide off the end of the runway or nothing. As I told you, when we got to the end of the runway, we would go off in the snow to let them offload. So definitely give it a try. And if you would like to fly to the ice for virtual airline, come join us at National Cargo, and the domain is nationalcargova.com. We're probably the only virtual airline next to the Virtual Air Force on VATSIM that actually comes down to the ice that I'm aware of. So if there's any other airlines, and one of your members or something is watching this video, don't take disrespect to that comment. As far as I'm aware of, National Cargo and the USAF are the only airlines that do come down here. So I would definitely encourage y'all to come take a trip to the ice. Once again, Captain Walton, thank you for riding, and we'll see you next time.